నరేష్ రాసేసుకుంటాడులేండి. వింటాడు పక్కన. వాడు ఇప్పుడే ఐప్యాడ్ పెట్టొచ్చి ఇక్కడే పక్కన కూర్చున్నాడు. ఇప్పుడు సురేఖ క్వెషన్ అడగగానే ఆన్సర్ నరేష్‌ని అడుగుతా.
So I have sent 2 links in WhatsApp. After this class, just install those. I'll just show you how to do. Just click on that link. You'll find this 2023 IDE. Download that. This 8664. If you are
I have the old version, Surekha. Is it
anything
fine?
is fine. Anything is fine.
Okay.
So if you click on this, it will just get ask you for next steps. Just click on next. You will get installed with Eclipse. And after, like, it will download a exe file, and then it will show like
Surekha, I think they both don't want Surekha. Java, they both can install, because for Sharda garu, Naresh garu is there for an option. She already know, and Irfan garu is also there, no?
Okay, then if you are having an internet, just click on YouTube. You'll get the link. Just install Eclipse and Java. So done today only.
Java, Eclipse, and
Maven.
The other one. Yeah. Okay.
So once you install, the interface might be different in Windows when compared to Mac, but the functionalities are same only. Just click on File, New, Maven project. Click on Next, and here you have to select Internal, and then you can see here Maven Archetypes, Maven Archetype Quick Start. You need to select this version. Like, it might be 1.1 or 1.4 depending on your system, but you have to make sure that it is Maven Archetype Quick Start. Click on Next and give some project. Give some names in both group ID and artifact ID. This will create a Maven project for you. It's taking some time. Okay, in the meantime, I'll just create a Java project to start. For Maven now, you need to install Maven in your system as well, then only it will work. If you, for first 5 days, just Java project is enough until we start Selenium. You can directly create a Java project, give some name. Okay, in Java project, you'll just see the src folder, source folder. So inside the source folder only, we will have all our code, and whatever the version of Java is installed in your system, that you can see as JRE system library inside your project. So this upper folder, which is having only the letter J, this indicates that this is a Java project, and inside that you are having source folder, and it is just showing you all the libraries of Java, whatever are there. Okay, in Java, first we have everything is written inside a class. Okay, I'll just give you the definitions first. So the basic definition that everyone says is like class means it is just a blueprint. Which will help you to create for creating objects. But the meaning of this is like you can imagine this class as like a any food storage box that you are having in your home. You can imagine like that. Inside that, you will just put all the things, whatever are required. Um, like you can take the example of you are using some lentils and you're putting them inside a box. So everything will be there in that container itself. Whatever you write the code, it should be inside a class. But above this, for example, in our cupboard, like if we are having clothes in one cupboard, and if we are having all the utensils in one cupboard, how we are segregating based on their type, in the similar way we store all these classes in packages. So inside a package you will have class. Package means it stores similar type of items, like similar type of classes. For example, if I'm having a package which performs mathematical operations, then the classes will have addition class, subtraction class, multiplication class, like that. So package means it contains the overall, it determines the overall types of classes that are being present inside it. So first we will have project. Inside project we will have folders, source folders, in which our code will be there, inside which we will have packages. Inside that you will have classes. So if you see this Eclipse Java project, so this is our project, and inside this we are having source folder, and inside this we need to create a package. So right click on the folder, you have to right click on the src folder, new package, and give some package name, but it should be in small camel case. Like camel case means either it can be in camel case or else it can be in only completely small letters. In real time projects they will give like com dot company name dot that functionality. So for this, let us say com dot java classes dot basics. So if I create a package with this name, it is saying that this is talking about Java classes, and where I'm teaching you Java, and in that also I'm teaching you the basics. So the hierarchy follows for package name, and inside package you need to create class. So to create class you have to just right click on the package, new class, and for the class name the first letter should always be capital, and if there is some other second word which is connected to it, the first letter of the second word should be capital. For suppose demo today is there, so in this T should be capital because it is the starting letter of second word. And always remember that the class name should start with the capital letter. And if you want to include public, okay, just let me create a class. So if I open this class, as is an IDE, by default it is giving you the package name as well. So it is saying that this particular class demo today, it is present inside a package java classes.basics. Okay, so the first statement of any class would include the package name, and after that you have to write public class name. So whatever the file name that you are storing, you are using to store the file, the same should be your class name. Did you understood till here? The name of the file should be same as your class name. Hello.
Yeah, Surika, I got it.
శారద గారు అర్థమైందా?
సురేఖ, ఇంకొకటి కొంచెం ఆ ఫాంట్ సైజ్ సైజ్ కొంచెం పెద్దగా పెట్టు,
కనిపించట్లేదు.
ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఉంది.
ఒక్క నిమిషం, ఇది నా పెంచుతాను 1 minute.
జావాలో కూడా పెరిగిద్దా సురేఖ ఫాంట్ సైజ్?
ఇక్కడ పెరిగిద్ది, లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ పెరగదు అనుకుంటా.
ఆహా! ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుందండి? ఇంకొంచెం పెంచినా?
చాలు సురేఖ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
యా. సో ఇది అర్థమైందా? ప్యాకేజ్ లోపలే క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది. క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఏమో సేమ్ యాజ్ ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఇవ్వాలి.
సురేఖ.
Okay. So inside the class, if you want to run any code, first thing is you need to allocate the memory for this code. So in order to allocate the memory at the compile time means while we are writing the code and saving it, if you want to allocate the memory at that time itself, you have to use the keyword called as static. So by using the static keyword, we are giving the memory to this class. Whatever the code we are writing here, the memory will be allocated to it as soon as you save the file. So for this, you have to write public static. I'll just explain this in further classes. For now, remember that this is public static void main string arguments. Now we will go one by one. So before class also you saw there is a keyword called as public. So these are called as access modifiers in Java. We are having like 4 different types of access modifiers. One is public,
ప్రైవేట్, ప్రొటెక్టెడ్
and default.
ఈ ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ ఉండదా?
ఉంటుంది, protected, default. So by the names, if you can see, public means it is accessible to everyone everywhere. Private means it is only to that particular class. You can't access those members or methods outside the class. Protected means you can access them within the class and outside the class as well, but it should be in a relation to it. Like you can take the example of brothers and sisters. If you can share things only with your siblings. So protected is also similar to that. You can share the code only with the siblings of it, or daughters or sons who are having direct relation to it. So we will see how does that work. And default means it will work only within that particular package. Public means you can access it everywhere. Private means only within the class. Protected means within the class and outside the class. it should be a child of it. And default means within that package only. So now we will see its implementation. So public means it is accessible everywhere. Static means you are giving memory to the computer at the compile time itself. Main is the method, means in order to run all this code, the Java takes this in the form of a string arguments and it will run it in its machine. You have to just remember that after writing the public class and class name, you have to, by default, you should write this statement: public static void main in round brackets string array arguments. This is called as array. We will see in the next classes. Remember the statement. So by default, without writing, if you want the statement to come, just right click on that new class while you are writing the class name only. Below that you can see public static void main. There is one checkbox. If you check that, it will automatically generate it for you. You don't need to write every time. Okay. So I'll just start with the basic print statement, like how every Java class starts. So system, in order to print anything into your console, into your system console, you have to use system.out.println, and inside that you can give any of the string. So string means group of English characters. Group of characters comes as a string. If you are writing only single character, then it is called as char. And if you want to, and it should be in single quotes. And if you want to write a string, which means which is having more than one character, then you should put it in double quotes in Java. Single quote is for single character and double quotes is for more than one character. So now if I run this code in my console, you will see the print statement, whatever is written inside that. Selenium training is given in my console. Okay, now if I want to just print the numbers, I don't need to give the double quotes. I can directly give that number and it will run. It will just print in the console. Okay. About this access modifiers implementation, I'll show in next classes. But now for today, remember that we have to write public static void main, and inside that public static void main only you can write the code. For suppose if I put this statement outside public static void main, it will get an error. It can't understand what is this system or println means. You have to put all the code inside the class, and within the class also you should always put it in public static void main, the main code. Okay, now in order to identify, like the computer cannot understand by default whether it is a number or it is a string or it is a character. It don't know. So in order to make it understand, you have different data types in Java. Those are integers, float, double, char, boolean. Int is to store the integer numbers. So the syntax goes like, whatever the data type that you want to store, int, any variable of it, and just equal to the number. So this equal to is called as assignment operator. Equal to in Java means assignment operator. That means whatever the value which is given in the right side will be assigned to the variable on the left side. So if you call n, that means you are calling 5. Like my now maths, we can take like x as let x to be 5. We will take like assume like that. No? In the similar way, you are just assigning the values. Whatever is there on the right side will be assigned to the variable on the left side. So this is called as data type. Int is called as data type. The whatever the value that you are giving here, that is called as variable, and outside right side to the equal to whatever you are giving, that is the value of the variable. So in order to store a number, you have to give int. And if you want to store some pointed values, decimal values, then you can give float. And if you want to store some double character, like floating values only, the decimal points only, but to a greater range, then you can go for double. And the float won't be there in Java, I guess. Okay. Char float won't be I'm learning Python and Java similar. So in char you have to give single character. Boolean means it is just true or false. You can either store the value true or you can store the value false. So now if I want to print these values, oh sorry, I did not put the variables. Char ch boolean p. The float one. Remember this. Int, double, char, boolean and string. String means group of characters which should be in double quotes. Now you have to remember that every statement should be ended with a semicolon. After writing every statement, at the end the semicolon is must. And while assigning the values, you have to give the variable name as well. So data type, variable and value. Double is the data type, D is the variable name, and this is its value. Now if I want to print those statements, like print those values, I have to use system.out.println. Now if I just give ch, it will print the value D because D is stored in ch. So now you can see in the terminal it just gave me D. In the similar way, if I want to print string, it will give me Google.
Sureka, in the output println statement, if we write the variables, we don't have to put it in the double quotes, huh?
Yeah. Only if it is a string that you are passing directly, then only you will give it in double quotes.
Okay.
Now here I'm just directly giving the value.
Hello world. Okay. For variables, we don't have to write.
Yeah, for variables means these are already, you are already indicating to Java that this is an integer, the n is an integer. You're already saying to it, so then you don't need to describe what it is. But here you're not saying what it is. So you are indicating by giving double quotes that this is a string.
Oh, okay. So that is the reason for integer kind of
values, you don't need to give any double quotes and all, because by default it can understand that this is number.
Okay. If it is a single quote, it will be understood that it's a
character. So for character, you have to use single quote only. For string, you have to use double quotes.
Okay. So generally, do you print boolean also in the statements, huh?
Yeah. If you give B, you will just get true.
Okay.
You can only store either true or false.
Okay.
And to comment, so to not execute some part of the code, then you have to use 2 front slashes. So the 2 front slashes means it's a comment.
Okay.
And if you want to comment multiple lines, like if I want to comment the lines between 7 to 11, then I have to use single front slash star, and I have to close it with star single front slash. This is multi-line comment. 2 front slashes is single line comment, and to comment multiple lines, you have to use slash star, and wherever you want to end, you have to give star and slash. Did you guys understood till here?
I'm okay, Sureka.
శారద గారు ఏమైనా అర్థం కాకపోతే అడగండి.
సురేఖ ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పారు కదా క్యార్ అంటే సింగిల్ డిజిట్. సో ఆటికి మీరు కొటేషన్స్ ఏం అవసరం లేదా? సో ఓన్లీ స్ట్రింగ్ వచ్చినప్పుడే మనకి
స్ట్రింగ్ వచ్చినప్పుడేమో డబుల్ కొటేషన్స్ ఇస్తాము. క్యారెక్టర్ వాడేటప్పుడేమో సింగిల్ కొటేషనే ఇస్తాము, సింగిల్ కోట్.
ఓకే, సింగిల్ కోడ్.
నంబర్స్కి అయితే ఏమి ఇవ్వక్కర్లేదు మనం.
ఇప్పుడు క్యారెక్టర్ అంటే ఓన్లీ ఆల్ఫాబెట్స్
ఓన్లీ ఆల్ఫాబెట్స్. స్ట్రింగ్
కానీ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఆల్ఫాబెట్ కదా,
ఓన్లీ వన్ ఆల్ఫాబెట్
వన్ ఆల్ఫాబెట్
అండ్ ఓన్లీ ఆల్ఫాబెట్సే. అది క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్ అయినా అవ్వచ్చు, స్మాల్ లెటర్ అయినా అవ్వచ్చు. కానీ స్ట్రింగ్లో అలా కాదు. స్ట్రింగ్లో మీరు ఏమైనా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు దాని లోపల. సరే,
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఓన్లీ ఒక సింగిల్ డిజిటే ఉంటే దాన్ని క్యారెక్టర్ అంటారు శారద గారు. ఒకవేళ మోర్ దెన్ 1 డిజిట్, ఎన్ని డిజిట్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా అది స్ట్రింగ్. ఓన్లీ ఆల్ఫాబెట్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, నెంబర్స్ ఉండవు కదా స్ట్రింగ్ లో కూడా.
స్ట్రింగ్ లో నెంబర్స్ కూడా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు. డబుల్ కోట్స్ లోపల మీరు ఏది ఇచ్చినా, వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ గివ్ ఇన్సైడ్ దిస్ డబుల్ కోట్స్, ఇట్ విల్ గెట్ ప్రింటెడ్. It don't validate whether it is a string, whether it is a valid character or not. It don't validate. Whatever you will give here, it will just print it. If it is a string.
సురేఖ ఇప్పుడు మనం 1 to 8 నెంబర్స్ ఇచ్చాం సపోజ్, దానికి కూడా అప్పుడు డబుల్ కొటేషన్స్ కావాలా?
అది ఇంటిజర్ కదా,
అది ఇంటిజర్. అది ఇంటిజర్. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ గివింగ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ a string, then also it will print you 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. The whatever is written inside the double quotes won't get validated. Ademi adi right or wrong, it won't check for it. Whatever you have given, it will just print it out for you. It will just store that value. Whereas in character, it's not the case. If you are not giving a valid one, like one, I think it will get printed. Let me see. Whatever a single character will be printed, I guess.
Okay, any single digit, it can be an alphabet or
a digit.
Anything single is a character. Okay.
Yeah, now I gave like more than one character, so here I'm getting an error.
Okay.
Invalid character
constant. Like not only alphabets, anything more than one, like it can be a combination of integers or combination of
special characters or alphabets, but it should be just of length 1.
For character, for string, it can be any length.
N number of characters it can be there. Nausheen, did you understand till here?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Now, if I want to add any 2 numbers, okay, so I'm having int n, and if I'm having int n2 equal to 6. Now I want to perform one operation, addition operation on it. So what I'll do, I'll take another variable into total, and I'll give n plus n2. Now what will happen? First the right hand side, whatever the operation is written, that will be done, executed, and then it will store it in the left side variable. So now if I give, I'm trying to print the total, it will give me the output as 11. Okay. In the similar way, you can do subtraction as well. Int equal to n minus n2. And if you want to print that, now it will give you -1. Now, but I'm not having only 2 numbers, but I'm having n number of numbers which are in pairs, and I just want to add them. So every time I can't create one more total 1, total 2, total 3. I can't create 100 items, and I can't give every time this n plus n2, n plus n3, n plus n4, like that. So in order to avoid that repetitive steps, we have to create methods which will execute these common steps. So the same similar operation, whatever we are doing for addition, but we will do it in a method. So if I am to create a method, it should be outside your main method. Okay, the main method started here and it got ended here. So above the main method, you have to write the method definitions. So for that, public, for now remember that void means it's empty. Void means it's empty. So public void addition. So outside the main method, you can't directly write the system.out.println, or you can't perform the actions directly, but you are allowed to create the methods outside of it. Whatever the code you are writing outside of the main method, in the code, like in as the method, that can be called inside. I'll show you how to call that. For now, you are writing public, the return type as void means empty, and you are trying to add two numbers. So you have to send those two numbers to the method. So I am giving int a and int b, and inside this method I am performing the operation int total equal to a plus b, and I am printing the total. So with the help of this, what will happen is, whenever I want to call add two numbers, I'll just call this addition method, and inside that I'll just pass 5 comma 6, 7 comma 8, 9 comma 10, whatever the numbers I want to add, I'll just pass the numbers. So I don't need to write these steps every time. But see, here I have used the keyword as static. Static means the memory is allocated at the compile time. But now if I want to call this addition method inside my class, a comma, I'll say like 5 comma 6.
Sirika, what is the meaning of allocating the memory at compile time?
Compile time means now you have saved the code, right? So now in your computer, you need to store this value. There will be some memory blocks inside our computer. ఇందులో పెయింట్ ఉండిద్దాం. Okay, I'll just try in Word only. So everything in your system will be allocated a memory. Then only you can see this. For example, if there is a memory block like this, inside this memory block, when I'm saving my code, if I give n equal to 5 as my static keyword, then as soon as I saved it, the memory will be one block will be allocated for this n value, and that will have the value as 5 in it. Whatever the value I'm giving it while saving the code, that will be stored in this value. Whereas now I'm not giving any memory allocation. I'm not saying where to store this. Now I can't access that. It will say that a static reference cannot access a non-static method. Means I have already allocated memory for this, but I'm not allocating any memory to the addition method. I did not give it any way to allocate the memory. Means when I'm running this code, as soon as I run this code, this entire Java program will become compiled into Java machine language. At that time, it can't understand what is this addition until and unless it is having a memory stored for it. Now, in order to access this member, either I have to give it the memory at compile time by giving the static keyword, then the error is gone. Now, these both are having the memory allocations. So, as soon as I run, it will give me the output. So, I have just called the method addition, and I have passed it the variables whatever I am saying. I am saying that I am passing two variables to it, int a and int b. I have indicated in the method definition itself that I'm giving you two integers. You just perform that operation on that. So while calling that method also, I'm giving two integers. If I give three integers, it can't identify what is this addition method, because in my method definition, I am expecting it to have only two integers to be passed. Now I don't want to see whenever I'm giving the memory at compile time, means whenever I'm saving the file, if I'm giving the memory and there are 10,000 methods like this, or suppose if there are 10 methods like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, but not every time I will use this addition method. Every time I don't require addition operation, then waste of memory, right? If I am giving memory at the starting itself and I'm not utilizing it, then I'm wasting the memory, which will reduce my overall performance of my program. So you should not, it is not a good practice to give the memory at the compile time. You should not use the static keyword for the methods. But here it is showing error, right? In order to solve that, there is a concept called as object creation in Java. Object creation means when you are running your code, as soon as you click your run command, at the time the memory will be allocated to the methods whatever you are utilizing it. For suppose I'm having one more method, I'll just give you one, I'll explain you one more time. Just listen for the first time. I'm having one more method called as subtraction, and I'm doing int a minus b. But now I just want to perform only addition operation. But I have used the static keyword, so now addition is also having memory, subtraction is also having memory. But while calling the method, I have called only addition. So while running the code, as this is like only 10 lines of code, you're not seeing any difference in the performance. But when you're having like 1,000 lines of codes and it is a big Java project, then your overall performance will be reduced. It will take more time to load. So that's why you should not use the static keyword in real time while you're creating the methods.
Okay. So what you mean is, if we use a static keyword while creating the methods itself, the memory will be allocated. So it will be like if you do more of it, more memory is allocated. But if you don't do that, and when you create objects and call the method, then at the runtime, the memory gets allocated, so that it's like
You're
you
utilizing
will use
only
the memory.
what you use. So you'll
Yeah.
pay for what you use.
Yes. Okay, I understand.
So to create that object, we are having one syntax called as class name variable equal to new class name. And you have to open round bracket, open and close the round bracket, semicolon. Remember that every statement, like the line of code, should be followed by semicolon. And if it is a class, it should be opened, it should have curly braces to be opened and to be closed. Whatever you write, it should be within that curly braces itself. Even for the public static void main, this is the main method and it is having the starting braces and the ending braces. Between that only you can write. For the methods also same. Whatever you are writing inside that should be at the last place you have to just put the semicolon. Now to create the object, the syntax what I said is class name variable equal to new class name. So for this particular class, what is the class name that we have stored? What is the class name for this program?
Demo today.
Demo today. So demo today, you can give any variable name. Variable means just any value, any placeholder to store your memory or store your values. New demo today, bracket open and close. So now what will happen is this new keyword will create the memory for this demo today class. And inside, and if you are trying to call with the help of that memory, it will create only that particular space which is required for this addition method. So because I'm calling it with the help of this variable dt dot addition, the memory will be allocated only for this addition method. The memory won't be allocated for subtraction because I'm not calling it without the help of object. So this will help you in increasing your overall performance of your application. In order to access these methods which are outside the main class, you have two ways. One is either by using static keyword or by creating the object. Okay, so if I want to use
Sureka, does the object has to be like, is there any limit, like it should be a 1 digit, 2 digit, or something like that?
which object?
I mean, object name, like you created the
No,
object,
there is nothing like that. You can simply give like full name as well. If I want to give demo today, variables are nothing but you can give any value. It will take any value.
Oh, okay.
Whatever
No.
is written in this position, it is just a variable. You can write anything over there. You can give numbers as well. Demo today 1 2. It should be
So you
followed by
can
number.
same name as variable name, right?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Same, you have to utilize this variable. What this new demo today will create some memory. So equal to is an assignment operator. So what it will do, whatever it has been done on the right side, it will give in and store it in the demo today 1 2. So in order to access this addition like this memory, you have to just call it with the help of your variable name.
Okay.
Variable name dot method name. Variable name dot another method. Now if I'm running this code, it will just give me the total of that 5 comma 6, which is 11. Either I can do it in this way, or else I can give a static keyword and call that method. In either of the ways it will work, but the best way to do this is by creating object to the class. శారదా గారు అర్థమైందా? ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేషన్ ఇవి అర్థం కాకపోయినా అట్లీస్ట్ ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ అను దాన్ని మనం ఎలా ప్రింట్ చేస్తున్నాం అక్కడి వరకు అర్థమైందా?
అంటే అంటే ఫుల్ ప్లేజ్ కాకపోయినా సురేఖ ఓకే ఐ కెన్ మేనేజ్.
అదే ఇది ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తేనే వస్తుంది.
Like today, like anyways, like tomorrow I will practice this thing. Yeah, I took screenshot also what you did, no, just now.
Yeah.
I will try to.
So you need to practice. For the first code you will definitely get some or the other error.
నరేష్ గారి కోడ్ అంతా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి, ఇంక ఈ కోడ్ అంతా జుజువే అయిపోతుంది మీకు.
ఆయన కోడ్ మనం చదువుకున్నా ఉన్న కోడ్లు మర్చిపోతాం ఇక్కడ.
Practice this, then only you'll get.
Yeah, Surekha, I will learn this Saturday, Sunday. No, I will be focusing on this. Today, what you said, no, this topic, integer, double, character. So all I will learn this. So by Monday, I will be sure, like I can understand little more, much better than today's class.
Yeah.
So if anything else I feel much doubts, I will just WhatsApp you.
Yeah, sure. So now I'll just give you this explanation of the syntax for the method. I did not give you the syntax. No. So to create any method, first you have to give access modifier, then return type, then method name, arguments. This is also called as parameters, arguments or parameters, curly braces, open and close. So access modifier means it can either be public, private, protected, or if you're not giving anything, it will directly take it as default. If you're not specifying anything, then it is a default. Otherwise, public, private, or protected, you can give anything. And return type. Return type means here for the same methods, So for this addition method, I am doing an integer operation. So instead of printing here, instead of directly writing system.out.println inside this method, I just want to return that value. So I just want to return the total number. So void means it is not returning anything. But if I want to return this total variable, then I have to give it the return type. So the return type can be of any of the data type. So here we are performing an integer operation. So it is obvious that you have to give the return type as int, and the expected value of that return type should match with this given return type. So if here I am giving an int, and if here I am having that one string, for suppose this is addition. If I'm having one string str and I'm also having a total int variable, and if I'm trying to return str here, it will throw me an error saying that it is not matching with the type mismatch, cannot convert string to int, because I'm expecting my return type to be an integer. So here definitely I should give a variable which is of int type. So in this both, the total is the int type and I have returned the int type. Now if I want to do some boolean operations, I just want to print whether it is true or false, then I have to give return true or return false. Or else if I am having one variable called as boolean b equal to true, then I have to return b. Whatever the value that you are returning here should match with the return type. And if you are giving void, you don't need to specify any return type because it is an empty thing. Void means it's empty, so you don't need to return anything. Okay, if you are giving any of the return type, then definitely it should include a return statement, and that will be the last line of your method. In the last line of the method, you have to give return space and whatever the variable that you should give, that you want to give. Okay. And what else should I say? And whatever the values that are passed after this bracket, after this method name, whatever you are passing in this bracket are called as arguments. So while calling this method name, you will specify these arguments. For suppose I don't want to specify any arguments, I just want to use it for a print statement. Public void print system.out.println. So here the method arguments are empty. I'm not expecting it to give any of the inputs from this main method. So now to access that, I have to use this variable name demo12 dot add print method. So by running this, it will directly print the value whatever is written here. So what is happening? The print method is being called. So it will go here and it will execute whatever the code is written inside this block. Now if I want to say, I want to print hello, and I want to also give the name of the person. I want to add after hello the name of the person. Then what should I do is to add two strings. To add two strings, you have to just put plus symbol and give that value. So after the string, after the double quotes, you have to give the plus symbol and you have to give that string name, the variable name. So now inside this print method, if I am saying Now if I run this, it will give me hello Sarada. Now what is happening? This print method is taking the argument of Sarada, which is in double quotes. That means it is a string. So here in the print method, I'm expecting it to be a string. So the type is matched. So it will go inside the code. And here you are seeing a println statement, which means that to print. And you're asking to print hello. And after that, you're appending whatever the value that you have given here. Did you guys get this? What did I do here? In order to add two strings, you need to use the plus concatenation operator, and you are trying to add those strings. So if you see websites, as soon as you log in, you can see hello your name. So it will come like this. They will just create a hello statement, and they will create a space for adding that string, and they will collect that string your name from their database, and they will add that. If this call gets ended now, I'll send another link. Just join in that link. Did you guys understood or having any doubts in this? If you want, I'll repeat. Just ask. Which part you didn't understood? Hello.
So Surekha,
Mm-hmm.
see, in that public void addition thing,
Mm-hmm.
you have string you already.
హలో సూరి ఈ రోజు ఏంటి 2 hours తీసుకుంటావా?
ఇంకొక పావు గంట తీసుకుంటా. అది అర్థం కాదు, మళ్ళీ ఎక్కువ చెప్పిన వాళ్ళు.
అదే శ్రీ జావాని పిండి నలిపేసినట్టున్నావు.
నా బొంద
అసలు నాకేంటోనే బేసిక్స్ కూడా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ గానే అనిపిస్తుంటాయి మళ్ళీ విన్నా.
నీకు వచ్చేయాలి ఈ పాటికి. నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు నాకు చెప్పాలి ఇవి. You are saying something, Nasha?
Yeah. So see, you already have mentioned string str is equal to this is addition, right? Then you have created an object and we have a string there. So how it is taking that string and why it is not taking this string?
Because this is an addition method, and I'm nowhere calling the addition method.
You're not calling the addition method?
Yeah, I'm just calling the print method. And even though if I call the addition method, I have in that addition method I did not give any implementation to print the string. I did not give any implementation. I have just told this is addition in this str variable, but there is no part of the code where I am utilizing
where it has to be printed.
I'm not writing that code. So if you see here, you can see these underlines, yellow underlines. This yellow underlines indicates that these values are nowhere utilized in this program.
Okay.
So here it will say the value of the local variable that is not used.
Okay.
If I want to implement that, I have to call that particular method and I have to provide that implementation over there.
Yeah.
Now if I call addition method and if I give two values 5, 6.
సురేఖ,
చెప్పండి.
నేను డిన్నర్ పెట్టాలి, నేను తర్వాత జాయిన్ అవుతాను.
ఓకే, నేను ఎండ్ చేసేస్తాను దీంతోనే.
ఏంటండి?
నేను దీంతోనే ఎండ్ చేస్తాను, మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేసుకోండి.
సరే. ఓకే. సరే, బాయ్ సురేఖ.
బాయ్ అండి. So now I have called addition method 5 comma 6, but there is nothing that is being printed in my console, because after performing int total a plus b, I haven't printed it anywhere. If I want to print this, I have to either give a system.out.println statement inside this code, system.out.println total.
Sureka, sorry for the interruption. So, there are only like two ways to print a statement, right? Either it is system.out.println, otherwise by calling the method,
No.
by creating the object.
Yeah. By calling the method, but not directly. Like
Creating the object.
after creating the object also, you have to put it in print only. But how?
We have to
The
put it.
return type should be int. So here I'm creating the method with the return type int, and I'm returning total. Now, if I want to print the output, I have to put this entire calling statement, whatever demo today 1 2 comma dot addition a 5 comma 6, whatever I'm using to call the method, I should place it in a system.out.println.
Oh, even after creating the object and calling the object
Object
also.
means you are just allocating the memory to it. There is nothing related to print.
Okay.
Only the print statement only will print you the code. So now you can see that output 11, because I am what this method is doing. This method is returning me a integer. So whatever the integer that this method is returning, that is only being printed. See, for suppose instead of total, if I give a, my output will be 5 or 6, 5, because I am passing 5 as my first variable, which will take the position of a. Even though this operation is done, but I am returning a, which means only that value will be printed. Whatever the value is being returned, that only will be printed. Here you should give the right variable to get the right output. So if I give the total variable, then I'll get the output of the addition. అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఇక్కడ నువ్వు ఏదైతే ఇస్తావో నీ రిటర్న్ స్టేట్మెంట్లో, అదే నీకు ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. అది నువ్వు ప్రింట్ లోపల పెడితేనే అది ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది.
అవునవును, అదే.
నువ్వు ఇక్కడ మామూలుగా ఆపరేషన్స్ చేసేసి నేను ఇక్కడ కూడా ప్రింట్ ఇవ్వలేదు అనుకో, అది బ్యాక్ మెమరీ లోపల ఆల్రెడీ అది అలా పెట్టుకొని ఉంటుంది. లైక్ టోటల్ అంటే 11 ఉంటుంది, కానీ నువ్వు దాన్ని ఎక్కడ వాడట్లేదు నీ కోడ్లోని.
అవును, ఎక్కడ ఐ మీన్
పిలవట్లేదు. యూఆర్ నాట్ ప్రింటింగ్ ఇట్. అందుకని అది రాదు. బట్ ఆపరేషన్ లోపల జరిగిపోయినప్పుడు నీకు ఈ వాల్యూ టోటల్ అంటే, కంప్యూటర్కి మాత్రం టోటల్ అంటే 11, కానీ అది మనకు కనిపించట్లేదు అంతే. యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ దట్, బట్ ద టోటల్ ఇస్ 11 ఓన్లీ.
ఓకే.
Okay, now she install this Eclipse, and you are already having that. Practice this, and if you're having any doubts, we will connect tomorrow.
Okay. Just share these notes.
Yeah.
If possible today.
Yeah.
And that's it for today.
Yeah. We will connect tomorrow. Bye, Noshin.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, Pralika.
Bye, Naushin. Bye, Sureka.
Bye, Prali.